Well, hello guys, how are you doing? I believe you're doing good. Today we are going to learn about the power supply or power input in the laptop motherboard, and I'm going to draw a diagram representing the components which are responsible for power input in your laptop, right? Yes. So number one, or the first component we are going to look at into is what's called the power port. So we are going to look into power port. And this one, it is written DC jack. So this is DC jack. After the power port, we'll have what's called the power fuse or power inductor. So we will be having power inductor. Sometimes some laptops they use as power fuse, and they write as PL for the inductor. Then for the fuse, it is BF. That's a power fuse. Then after the power fuse, we will have what's called the protection MOSFETs. So next components are what are called protection MOSFETs. So, and in that case, you need to know MOSFETs are the power switches. So these are protection MOSFETs, and here we will be having MOSFET 1 and MOSFET 2. And then after protection MOSFET, we will have the next component, which is the power resistor. We'll be having power resistor. Power resistor, this sends or limits the current going into the motherboard, or sometimes we call it a current sense resistor. After this component, we will have the fifth one, which is the charging IC. And these charging ICs, most of them are the PQs. So these are PQ of charging IC. So let's have a look at them in the diagram. So in short, our topic for today, this is the voltage input and battery charging section charging section. So this is what we are going to discuss today: voltage input and battery charging section. So these first five components, these are the components which are responsible for voltage input and the charging section of a battery. However, on top of these, we'll have other components. That is number 6. We'll be having what's called the charging circuit. Charging circuit involves two MOSFET, that is MOSFET 3 and MOSFET 4. So another MOSFET, this first MOSFET is what's called the charging MOSFET. So this one is charging MOSFET, and MOSFET 4 is what is called discharging MOSFET. So this one is the charging MOSFET. So let me draw in a diagram. We'll understand very clearly. So the first component, I said, we have the port. So this is the power port. Inside the power port, we'll have terminals which are responsible for ground. So these are ground terminals. Then here you will have the power terminal. So this power terminals is what connect the main power lane into the first component, that is the power inductor. This is BL. Some other laptops they use the power fuse, so you will have BF. Then after that first component, we will have the next component, which is the protection MOSFET. So we have MOSFET 1 here. This is BQ1. Then after MOSFET 1, you will proceed to MOSFET 2. These are now what's called the protection MOSFET. The reason they are called so because they protect the motherboard. They regulate the amount of current going into the motherboard. So this is MOSFET 2. Then after MOSFET 2, we will have what's called current sense resistor. So here we have a resistor. So this is a power resistor. So the power resistor, this is BR. Then after here, so we will have now the current going into the phase 2. So after here, we'll be going into the phase 2 power supply, or in short, we are going into the motherboard. Good. So as you can see, you have first MOSFET, second MOSFET. This first MOSFET, it has a gate which goes into the charging IC, that is the BQ. So the BQ, we have it somewhere here. So this is the BQ. The gate of this other MOSFET, MOSFET 2, still comes into that charging IC, which is the BQ still. So here you have several terminals, several pins. So among these pins, there are signal pins, the voltage pins, power input for this IC. So you have several pins which does some work. Then from there, and you know this IC has a direction. So maybe this a dot, then it is the point. Then from here, let me go back a little bit to explain about the MOSFET 1 and MOSFET 2. This MOSFET 1, let me write it here. So you have MOSFET 1, PQ1. This one is called block MOSFET. This one is called block MOSFET. I'm going to explain to you why they called block MOSFET. Then you have MOSFET 2. This MOSFET 2 is called supply MOSFET. Supply MOSFET. So the reason why is it called block MOSFET? Because this MOSFET is responsible for blocking the backflow of voltage. So you know here we have a power supply which is 19 voltage, which is being supplied into the motherboard. So in case you have a problem at the other side of the motherboard, maybe you have a short there, the system returns back the voltage, and once it is returned, it is blocked here at MOSFET 1 so that it cannot go back towards the charging adapter. This is why this one is called block MOSFET. It blocks power from the backflow. Then this one, the reason it's called supply MOSFET is because this MOSFET is responsible for supplying power into the motherboard, because after this MOSFET, the power goes into the motherboard. I don't know whether you're understanding this, because it's very important you understand, because this is the first section of power supply. At this section, we call it phase 1. So this is phase 1 of power supply. Yes. So after phase 1, we are going to phase 2 of power supply. Let me explain to you a little bit what is happening here. How does the voltage goes from this side to the other side of this MOSFET? You know, you have a MOSFET. A MOSFET, in short, these are the core power switches. The structural, structurally, it's something like this one. Sorry, you'll forgive my drawing. Let me draw it here. So a MOSFET. So let me draw it here very clearly so that we can see together. So this is a structure of a MOSFET. So it has 4 pins from this side. I believe you can see. And these pins are all connected together. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4 of these pins are what's called the drain. So this is drain of a MOSFET. So it is called drain, and it is represented by letter D. Then the other side of the MOSFET, so here you have a dot. Whichever side, if you have a dot here, you'll have a gate from the other side. So at this side of this MOSFET, you will have 3 pins connected together. So you have, these are the 3 pins which are connected together. And these 3 pins which are connected together are what are called source, represented by letter S. Then here you have an independent pin, and this is what's called the gate. So this is where the signals are sent into the IC. So this gate, whenever you see a gate, so meaning the other side of this is the dot. So this side is the dot. So the far end, so this point, this last pin here is the gate. So this is the gate of this MOSFET, and this is the gate of this MOSFET, right? Yes. So if this is the gate, so meaning this is what sends the signal into the control IC. So this IC, this charging IC, we say this one is called the charging IC. Charging IC. So this charging IC is responsible for controlling the entire phase 1. So this is like the general manager for phase 1. Phase 1 power supply in a laptop motherboard is controlled by the BQ, the charging IC. How does it control this circuit? So let's get into it. How does the BQ controls the power supply in phase 1? Okay, this is let's just draw a structure for that. So we have a port. We have a port here. This is the power port. Then after the power port, we said we have the power fuse or power inductor, that's BL. Then from there we have the first MOSFET. So this is the first MOSFET. At this MOSFET, let me draw it this way. This is the drain of this MOSFET. So this side is the drain. All of these pins are connected together. Then from this side, you have the source. The source, 3 pins are connected together. Then after the source, we go to the next source of the next MOSFET. So here you have another source. So this, the third pin, the 4th pin here. So you have a dot. So the 4th pin here is what goes into the charging IC. Let me hope you're getting this. So this 4th, so here still you have another MOSFET. So this is another MOSFET, and this MOSFET, it has a gate, and that gate connects to the BQ, the charging IC. So this is the charging IC. Then from here you have the drain of this MOSFET, which goes into what? The BR, that is the power resistor. Then past here it goes into the motherboard or the phase 2. So this one is the BR, this one is BQ2, and this one is BQ1, and here is we have the charging IC, which is the BQ. Let's get into it. How does this one works? So when you plug in your adapter, which is 19 voltage, you plugged in your 19 voltage power adapter. That this is a fuse, so it's just a wire which conducts voltage past there. So once I plug in the 19 voltage power adapter, it goes directly until it reaches here. So let's call Z point A, B, Z. This entire point here, this is point D. This side is point E, then F, G, H. So this entire, so when you plug in your power adapter which contains 19 voltage, that 19 goes directly until it reaches point C. When it is at point C, the signals are sent through the gate, through this gate, are sent into this IC, and this IC receives those signals from the MOSFET. Then it instructs these MOSFETs to do forward the 19 past here. So this IC acts like a pump, so it pumps that 19 voltage to this other side. So meaning once you have 19 here and the signals are sent there. This IC send back the commands and instruct this MOSFET to allow 19 to pass by. It goes up to the source of MOSFET 2. Once the voltage reaches here, same thing, what happens at MOSFET 1 still happens at MOSFET 2. Signals are sent into MOSFET into the BQ. Then the BQ gives command for these MOSFETs to forward 19 to go into the drain of this MOSFET. So this side is the drain. So once 19 reaches here, the current sense resistor senses those voltages if it senses the current passing past there. So in case if it is excess, it sends back some signals into this IC to regulate the amount of current coming from here. If it is less, still, if it is enough, the current is allowed into the motherboard. So let's go back here a little bit. So once the 19 reaches here, the signals is sent here. This one to give the command. Then this MOSFET switches the power into the source of this MOSFET. Then here at the gate, we will have 6 voltages. So 6 voltage is given out through the gate. So this one goes to what's called the charging ID. So that one goes into the charging ID. Then at this gate of MOSFET 2, we will have certain voltage which is 25.8. This one now goes into the charging. So this is the power for charging. So this one goes into the charging. See, this 25 goes to charge the battery. So that is what happens. That's why we say that this MOSFET is responsible for power flow from phase 1, because it controls these MOSFETs. These are power switches. Actually, MOSFET are power switches. In short, we can say MOSFET, these are the power switches. It switches power from this point to the other side. You can see it switches power from this point to this other point. I believe you can see, but it can't switch by itself. So it requires the command from the BQ. Right? Yes, that's what I need you to understand. And a MOSFET, that is not the full name for this component. These are short form of a component called metallic oxide. This is metallic oxide field effect transistor. As you can see, M for this one, oxide for this one. So actually I missed something here. So this is metallic oxide semiconductor. So this S is for semiconductor. So this one is metallic oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. So MOSFET, in short, there's a special kind of transistor which is responsible for power switching, right? Yes. So I don't know whether you understood those charts, because this is very important. You need to understand these because it's very important. These are phase 1 of power supply. Once you understood that very well, you're good to go. You're good about the power supply in phase 1, right? Yes. So we see again, MOSFETs, we have 2 types of MOSFET. We have 2 types of MOSFETs. However, the functionalities are the same. So these 2 types, we have one called P-channel MOSFET. P-channel MOSFET. Then another one called N-channel MOSFET. N-channel MOSFET. What is P-channel MOSFET and N-channel MOSFET? Actually, there is no much difference. There is no much difference. The only difference is the direction of the gate. So you have a MOSFET which is it is in this form. So we said it has 4 pins from this side which are connected together. So these are the 4 pins which are connected together from this side. Then you have the gate. So this is the gate. Then you have the 3 pins which are still connected together. So this one is the source, this one is the gate, and this one is the drain. So as you can see, you have a dot from this side. So that dot is on your if you can place this way. So that is your right, right? Yes, if it is your right, this is called P channel MOSFET. P channel MOSFET. Then the opposite for this one. So in case you have another MOSFET exactly like that, you have 4 pins which are connected together. These are the 4 pins which are connected together. However, instead of having a dot here for the direction, you have a dot in the other side. So this one, you will have the first 3 pins which are connected together. Then you have an independent pin, which is now the gate. So this one is the gate, this one is the source, then this one is the drain. So this one is what's called the N-channel MOSFET. N-channel MOSFET. Yes, the only difference is the direction of their gate or the location of their gate. So guys, thank you so much, and please subscribe to this channel and share this with your friends who are interested in learning about the laptop repair. This field is not it's not hard, so long as you just be passionate about learning, and things will be easy for you. So thank you guys, see you in the next video. In the next video we will be going to discuss about the charging system. Today we just discussed about the power input, that's the voltage input at phase 1. Or maybe we will be just in our next video we will be discussing about the power flow inside the laptop motherboard. That is, we are going to that of phase 2. Then after that, that's now when we can discuss about the charging, because for us to handle the charging part, we need to understand the power flow from the power port all the way to the CPU, right? So guys, see you in the next video, and please like and subscribe to this channel. Bye bye.